my video. If you would love to join my server 5BFD, which stands for the 5 Borough Fire Department, on the video game Into the Flame. So I'm in Into the Flame. I'm in the first countryside map. I'll turn these engines off, they're pretty loud. Not letting me hear much better. Alright, sorry about that. So first tutorial I'm going to talk about here on this video mainly is more on the system pumping. A lot of folks joins the game and assuming they know what they're doing, and they just wreck the whole entire game of you running it with the truck. So the first thing is, whoever's riding the engine, he's actually, or he or she is actually responsible for the truck, responsible for what comes in and out and changing the channel. Nobody else should be putting hands unless you're a ranking officer in the game. Like I'm wearing the hat, normally a battalion chief, but you know, I play all rankings here until I see folks taking over the game. Then I switch over helmets and play different roles. But for now, I'm a senior firefighter. So yeah. So anyways, so talking about the system, we make this game so realistic that, you know, we don't use easy pumping. With easy pumping, you can do whatever you want. It will never overheat. It just keeps the game going, and that's not fun. I like to have fun in the game, so I turn it off better. And let me turn back on so you can see. In the top it says pumping override active. That's what that means. So when you click on easy pumping, you just turned it off. It doesn't work now. So now you actually have to play, you know, with the game. So just to make the video short and quick, pretty much where it says water intake, depending on the amount of water you take, that's the same amount that needs to go out or less. Anything with a 0 and a high number here will result in this overheating up, and you go back to 50 and you lose a lot of ton of pressure, and your discharge port, I think they will go down itself, or they'll stay where they are and you have to adjust it yourself manually. One thing I don't like doing is returning on hoses. It means it disconnects everything that's on this truck and any other places. That resets your water, and it also resets your settings. So when you go out in the field, as you see here, I have water. This is empty, this is more or less, this is quite enough to use, and this is full when it's flashing. When you go over the limit in this game, when you're not supposed to, this part will flash a lot, and this you will see the pressure going up. So be mindful awareness as you setting up the game. Make sure you use the right proper channel for the small discharge and the right proper channel for the large discharge. Large discharge belongs to the truck FTC connection, ladder trucks. The standard hose for the small discharge is for you to use regular hoses from the truck. It will go to a certain depth, but you rather do a split, which will give you more when you connect 2 hoses and set the pressure to 250. So furthermore, let's just get into the game and show you what it's all about. So in the game, you could go just get the pressure booster. Normally it comes in the engine 3, 2 and 1 will give you this option when the special 2 is enabled. Not every truck will have certain equipment, but since I have it disabled, you'll see it here, even though it's a tanker. And I have hose bundle, which you normally don't see in this truck, but only on the engine. So let's get started. I want to pull out one of the discharge. I believe it's 1 here. I want to use the small discharge, and I want to use the splitter just to make the game a little bit more interesting, right? We'll get another set of bundle. I will connect one so I could demonstrate something for you, and then the other one I will just lay it on the floor just for the purpose of this video. I'm just going to drop it right there. So I need to connect to 100. I'm just going to do the shortcut. Just get on the truck, I'll press the letter J, and boom, it's connected to the hydrant. So pretty much that's what you'll be doing. You'll be connected. I could connect 2 hoses now because it has the pressure booster, and that's what you need with the key. So notice that your hydrant is green on top. I am playing realistically, so it means my server you will not have maximum pump. You will have hydrants that will give you different type of low pressure, high pressure, mid pressure throughout the game. And there's ones that are black. It means there's no water, zero is dead. So how will you get water on a map like this? And you notice there's a black one right there on the game, so that means that hydrant is dead. And there is, you could do drafting on the rivers, water, lakes that you find, but these are long distance depending on the area you got to go. So imagine you go into a section in the map and you see a lot of dead hydrants. So this map doesn't look that bad. I see a few dead hydrants, so you know that's pretty much it. Dead storm, maybe a low pressure. So how will you get a high pressure? You will have to connect probably to a couple of multiple hydrants or draft in the water. I'll teach you how to do that too as well. So let's get on the game. The game will teach you how to read the pumping measurements. And if you go to the guy right here, it says pumping guy, and you go on the top, it says fire hydrant. As you see, mine is green, so I get 400 to 550. I could double that if I connect double supply hose to it, since it has a boosting pressure. So I could double that in that truck. You see it gets low when it's red, black is 0, you know, 350 the most, 750. You know, it doesn't mean you're gonna get 750. You get the range between those numbers, and you could double them on each of these hydrants except for this one. So that's what makes the game more realistic. And also when you play with the pumping, drafting something else, and water supply and the pumping, you know, source or no source, you could read all about it here and you get a lot of details. I learned a lot from it here and watching YouTube videos and dedicating myself to play. So now I'm connected to the hydrant. I need to get water pumping to this truck so I can put pressure. So I would turn on the throttle and I'll put it on maximum. Then I go to tank fill and I'll fill the water up, and you see the water intake is filling up. So the maximum I could actually fill in this truck right now is 490, and it's not even sufficient to, I mean, think about it. If you're gonna feed the ladders just require 100 and up. The more you give it, the more pressure it could put out the fire, but 100 standard. So you're on a truck, you're on with a ladder, you're on an FTC connection to the building. So pretty much you could connect half and half for the ladder to use blast, and the other half for the FTC building. Nobody can use the truck to pump anywhere else unless you connect more sources of water to increase it. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. I'm going to use the front one. I got 3 sections, one in the driver's side, one in the front, one in the back. So I could actually do this, and if I was next to the river I could just pump even more, but just to see what the numbers look like. So here I will have to go back to tank fill and decrease and then increase. 980. 980 is good to play with. So I want to use another port here. I believe 1 was nearby 1. I want to open this channel to 2. 1 second, I will have to decrease this. This is just the pressure, so the more you go, the more pressure you could give. But the thing is that for 2 hoses, you need at least 240. You could go a little bit higher than that, 260, 280 the most. On a single hose, you will have to go between 120 to 180. And, you know, even take depending how the pressure and water you got to work with. So that's just pretty much in the end. So here, it's not giving me the number I want to actually play with, so I'm going to turn on tank to pump and open it, and I should start getting a different reading. So I got a 96, 120, 144, 160, all the way 240. I'm going to increase it one more. I just want to make it to 250, and 250 it is. I will go to the 2. No, 2 is discharge. I know discharge. This truck has a discharge, large 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So I'm going to use, I believe green is next to me, so I'll give this one 120. 125 is fine. That's okay for this tutorial. So that was number 3. I have to find number 3 for you. It's probably in the back. Nope, it's on the side. In the front. Where's 3? I kind of lost. 3 is green. I'm sorry. That's why I didn't see it. I fed the wrong channel. I fed 5. That's what it is. There you go. That's more doable. So 5 is right here. I'm gonna use the foam tip, and that combination is fine. That's pretty good for the tutorial here in this game. And there you have it. I could move around and I could do all kind of things with it. So that's working in that one. This was stretched to a certain point and then you would lose maximum reach, but with the bundle hoses, the one I set in the floor, you could go pretty long with it. So I already opened up the port, and as you see, I have water. The problem is I can't move with the water pressure. Turn it off, then I can move. Oop. Almost knocked myself out. So in order to make that happen, so I could divide the pressure to 250 on this to go into each of the hoses. Now I can move. See? So now I'm going to show you what happens when the system overheats. I'm going to open it as much as I can. Okay. Remember, I set it to 250, so 250 is the max. So right now I went over 980. If it's not 980 in this side, the system will overheat. The pressure got nothing to do with it. So I could use the pumping cooling. It will cool it down a little bit, so I could come real quick and change the setting. Otherwise the firefighters and any unit or the building with the FTC will not get the amount of pressure they need. So I would have to go here and close one of the ports as much to get, you know, I could open it back 175 the most. I lost 5% because I got nothing. Unless I change the numbers, then, you know, I could do that. So now it just cool down. So 0 and 975 will overheat this. Anything over this number will overheat. If there's a 1 and you got a 2, it's going to overheat. So you have to manage this. This is the whole thing about this game. Are you managing how much ports you opening, how much you're distributing? If you can't feed everybody because not that much water, then you need to figure out what can you divide from here so you could give out. And this truck, like I said, 4, 3, and 2 are the big largest discharge for me to give everybody. I could give 5, 5,000, 5,000, 1,000, 1,000, or 2,000, and I could feed them that and close this port, feed them and close it, and I could recharge and go somewhere else and do it, and everybody will have water. Another cool thing is if I got 940, you could set up a pond. I don't have to connect it with the hose. You could do it with the hose, but I'm not going to connect it with the hose because this truck has a feature. Maybe I'm too close. Hold on. There you go. So maybe I'm too close, that's why it didn't happen. But you know, with this truck, it has a feature that's called tank dump. So if I open this port, and let me just close the rest so I could give it sufficient. I don't want to just give it 25 and then walk away. I'd rather give it the whole thing. So pretty much I got 250 open somewhere. Here you go. Alright, so now I want to dump 980 into that. I just opened this. There you go. Now I can run real quick. As you see the water filling up. You can build a couple of these. All they got to do is connect to the discharge to distribute, or connect to the end. Actually, this is the discharger. The discharger will always have a plug at the bottom, and this will be more the intake one for the supply. So I could build 3 or 4 of these and start filling them up and walk away and go get water. So that's pretty much sufficient pool. As you see, the line went up to the top. You see the little white line somewhere in there. So yeah, then I'll just come here, close that. Now it's closed. I fill up the tank, and you notice my tank is still filled. So now I got 980 here, and I got 980 in that pond. And you know, that's just pretty much it. I'll do another video how to do a draft. See you next time.